guys, good evening. So we are back on our late night stock market kwentuhan session. So today is Sunday, so my scheduled live session tayo. So we will be having a stock screening or filtering, alright? Check natin yung mga possible stocks na pwede natin i-trade for this week. But before that, let's review first yung PSEi or yung market before we proceed sa stock screening. Okay, so before we start our stock kwentuhan, let me plug something here. If you are newbie pala in the stock market and you find this page helpful, pwede mo naman i-share to sa mga friends and family members mo to influence them in the stock market. And please help me na din, you can like and follow our social media accounts. So we have Facebook page. So right now, malapit na mag 8K followers yung page natin na Learn Stocks PH. So good news, we will be giving away a free stock market learnings in a PDF file. So it's all about technical analysis, okay? So stay tuned lang on the announcement on how you can get it, okay? Then also pala, we have our YouTube channel and TikTok account. So we usually upload everything about stock market learnings or yung stock market journey namin to inspire newbies, okay? Then lastly, disclaimer pala, we don't do stock recommendation here, but for research purposes only. So make sure na you always research then on your part, and as always, trade at your own risk. So tara, let's start na. Reviewin muna natin si PSEi. So let's proceed muna sa Instagrams. Okay, so actually last week, if binabantayan mo si PSEi, na-break na natin yung 7,000 level. So last Friday, nag-close si PSEi at 7,002.26. So with slightly movement up of 0.55%. Okay, so yun yung highest index or level na na-reach ni PSEi. So with 38.25 points movement. Okay, so quick review lang tayo kay PSEi. So as you can see, MA20, MA50, and MA100. So ginagamit ko yan as indicators plus the volume and RSI to know whether yung trending is uptrend ba or downtrend. So right now, if you can notice, yung candlestick natin or yung PSEi level is above the MA20, which is itong light blue, and then MA50 is itong 100. And then MA100 is yung violet, okay? So if you will notice, nag-breakout na tayo sa MA 20, 50, and 100. But to confirm yung pinaka uptrend position, wait lang, we need to wait na yung MA50 is mag-crossover above sa MA100. So if you will spot that, so you can confirm na uptrend na talaga si PSEi. So right now naman, is actually nasa 7,000 level na tayo. And then if i-check mo, nagkaroon ng with high volume last week. So since July 1 to July 1 Thursday up to July 2. Okay. And then if you will notice din sa RSI natin is at level of 64 to 65. Okay. And then we're nearing now sa 70 level. Okay. So possibly pagdating ng 70, possible na mag-back bounce tayo. But of course, may possibility din naman na ma-break natin yung 70 level since if in current trending position yung PSEi, so if malakas yung hatak or yung demand, kaya pa niyang lumagpas at level 70. Like for example, on this case. So dito. So the same case yan, check natin, during 2020. So nagkaroon ng, actually nag-crossover na yung MA 20, 50, and 100 and continuously din na umangat siya. See? So here. So umangat siya and then if mapapansin nyo, na-break din nga niya yung level 70 ni RSI since ina-uptrend position naman si PSEi that time. So right now, pwede natin i-expect din na ganun, but definitely, kailangan mong bantayan yung market if kakayanin ba niya. So tayo naman yung sumusunod sa market kung ano yung, kung mas mataas ba yung demand or yung other side. Okay? So that's it lang naman kay PSEi. So actually excited ako for this week since inaabangan ko if kaya ba niyang masustain tong level na 7,000. Okay? So if mag-push yan, probably ang next natin is aabutin na ulit natin yung 7,3. So which is good news kapag nangyari yon. But possible if hindi kaya, magbabounce back ulit yan pabalik. Okay? So I think that's all for PSEi review natin. So let me go back to the presentation. Okay. So actually meron tayong live stock screening or filtering. So discuss natin actually for newbies na hindi pa familiar on how to filter or screen stocks to trade sa darating na linggo. So pwede nyo din itong gamitan as your reference. So actually pag nag-filter ako ng stocks, usually for a new week, nagche-check ako during Sunday. So parang nagpe-prepare na ako ng trading plan ko for the coming week. Okay? So for the purpose of newbies, actually there are factors to consider kung ano yung mga stocks na dapat mong i-filter or i-screen. So dahil sobrang daming nakalist sa PSEi, hindi mo naman kailangan i-filter yan lahat isa-isa. So may mga factors lang tayo na dapat i-consider. Okay? So first one is value. So later after kong i-discuss yung mga factors to consider, so mag-filter na tayo, okay? So para naman sa mga newbies is kaya nyo din naman itong magawa sa sarili nyo if you will just follow these factors to consider in filtering or screening your stocks to trade, okay? So first one is value. So for the value, dapat may mataas na value yan. So only consider and filter those stocks with above 1 million value. So below 1M, I will not consider it. So pass tayo dyan. So dapat i-filter mo lang yung mga stocks na above 1 million value. Okay? And then dun sa traded value mo din, you need to check whether the stocks is liquid or illiquid. So meaning ng liquid, madaming nagtitrade dyan for the consecutive days. And then for illiquid, mababa yung volume or walang ganong nagtitrade for that stock. So ang focus natin is yung liquid stocks. So pwede mo ring i-add yung traded value as your indicator. So itatype mo lang yun sa indicators and then makikita mo yun. And then ang kailangan mong gawin is to check the 5 days traded value. So anong kailangan doon? Should be consistently high for the past 5 days of trading. So paano mo ba masasabing high? So pwede mo na ding i-consider na 1M, 3M above ganyang value is pwede mong i-trade. Okay? And then, of course, after mo ma-filter yung mga stocks na yun, saka mo ngayon gagamitin yung appropriate indicators for your trading. Okay? So, madaming klase kasing indicators na pwede mong gamitin. So, depende kung anong klase ka or type of trader ka. So, I have here sample. For example, for swing trader, pwede mong gamitin yung moving averages, volume, RSI, stochastics, MACD, and Bollinger Bands. And then if momentum trader naman, you can also use RSI and also MACD. And then one thing then is consider mo yung time frame mo. Syempre, by using time frame, nag-iiba-iba yan. For example, if gagamit ka ng one-day time frame, weekly, monthly, so if hindi ka naman nagbabantay masyado every day, you can use weekly time frame. So para yan dun sa mga, for example, busy sa work. So hindi mo kailangang i-check yan every day. But for traders na kaya magbantay daily, you can use daily time frame. And then sa mga day trader naman, syempre mas mababang time frame like 4 hours below up to 1 minute. Okay, so I think that's all lang for the factors to consider on how to filter or screen stocks to trade. So proceed naman na tayo dun sa mismong stocks screening natin. So babalik lang ako kay Instagrams, okay? Okay. Okay, so nandito na ulit tayo kay Instagrams. So ngayon, i-apply na natin yung mga factors to consider. So first thing, so i-delete ko lang muna itong mga dinrawing ko kanina. Okay, so first thing to consider is yung value. So sa Instagram, so dito mo siya ma-check. So filter mo lang yung value from highest to lowest. So if mapapansin mo, nandyan yung with highest value, so sa SMPH yun. And then until to 1M, since above 1M, yun lang yung i-consider natin to check or to filter. Okay, so hanapin natin yung at least 1M. So from SMPH to MA, or sorry, Z, so pwede natin siyang i-filter or i-check, isa-isahin natin siya. So yun. And then after that, what is the second thing you need to consider? So check mo yung traded value. Okay, and then after that, pwede mo nang i-apply yung indicator na gagamitin mo. Okay. So, for example, lagay natin yung traded value or the value. Okay. Okay. So, back tayo dun sa with highest value. So, let's start with SMPH. So, actually, I'm a swing trader. So, hino-hold ko yung stocks in a few weeks to few months. Okay, so meron akong ginagamit na indicators which are ALMA, MACD, fractals plus CCI. Okay, and then sabi ko nga pwede mong i-add yung value to know whether liquid or illiquid yung isang stocks. So, yan. So actually, ito yung mga indicators na ginagamit ko. So, start na tayo kay SMPH. So, pwede ba nating i-consider sa SMPH to trade for this week? So, by analyzing or using technical indicators, malalaman nyo yun. Okay. So, as of now, I'm using ALMA, volume, MACD, CCI, and then traded value. So, traded value, confirm naman na sobrang taas nung traded value niya for the past 5 days. But if you will check dun sa ALMA, below siya ng ALMA line, so which is hindi to pasok sa mga stocks na dapat kong i-check or i-trade for this week. So, and then also yung MACD is, yung signal line is above dun sa MACD line, so pass tayo kay SMPH. Okay, so ICT, I think malakas din yung, or mataas din yung value niya. But if you will notice, even though yung candlestick niya is crossing above the ALMA line, plus CCI is 100, so actually nagpa-flat yung sa MACD niya. So I think this is in thinking mode pa, si ICT. So, yan. If you will notice, dun sa MACD niya. So pass tayo kay ICT, and then for MEG, so same. So actually si MEG is nagko-consolidate pa rin siya at 3 pesos. So, hindi pa rin siya kumakawala at 4 pesos. So, if you will notice, flat din yung MACD niya kasi CI is below. Although mataas naman talaga si MEG since blue chips to. And then below the ALMA line. So, pass tayo kay MEG. And then si ASEN. So, si ASEN is actually maganda siyang stocks. I-trade if binabantayan mo siya in last month or last May. So if you will notice, nag-crossover yung MACD line sa signal line niya, which is last May 26. And then up siya until now. But, sorry, not until now. So nag-cross below yung MACD line last June 25. So, and then after that, nag-below na yung signal line sa MACD line niya. So this is pass actually. So, hindi natin ko-consider si ASEN for this week. And then sa pure gold actually, chine-check ko na to last week since if papansin ninyo, nagkakaroon siya ng volume last Friday. And then check lang din natin yung traded value. So mataas din si pure gold and blue chips din kasi to. So yung CCI is actually crossing above na ng 100 or nag-cross na siya since nasa 100 na siya. And then if binabantayan mo yung MACD niya is actually MACD line is crossing over the signal line. And then last June 29, if mapapansin mo, nandito yung fractals. So meaning kasi ng down na fractals na to is magre-reverse na yung trend ng isang stocks. So if papansinin niyo, after lumabas nitong fractals na to, nagkaroon ng movement pataas yung stocks ni Pure Gold. And then if swing trader ka, pwede kang pumasok here when yung mag-crossover yung MACD line sa signal line. So I think Pure Gold, isama natin siya sa list na iti-trade natin for this week. So sukatin lang natin yung risk niya. So nag-close siya at 41.50. Okay. So actually 2% risk lang yung iti-take mo here if magbabay ka. So if hindi, pwede ka na mag-cut with 2% loss. But if magpupush yan pataas, so i-need mo lang i-confirm if yung MACD line is crossing over, if ganito na yung mangyayari sa scenario ni Pure Gold, like this. Okay? So pwedeng mag-accumulate pa yan pataas since nasa 7,000 level na si PSEi, pwedeng sumunod si Pure Gold. Okay? So Monday, actually kaka-IPO lang ni Monday last June. So here medyo wala pa siyang historical data for MACD and CCI. But as of now, sa ALMA, uptrend siya. So medyo late entry na to if papasok ka pa dyan. So pass tayo. Okay. So KAC naman is actually nagko-consolidate siya. So there is no high volume KAC if papansinin mo. So nagte-trade lang siya dyan sa range na yan. Okay. And then yung signal line is above the MACD line. So pass tayo dyan. And then CCI is below 100. Okay, so pass. And then BDO. Okay. Si BDO is actually same then. So yung signal line is above the blue line or MACD line. So pass tayo dyan. And then I think nagpa-flat pa rin siya. And then consolidating phase. So pass kay BDO. DMC. So si DMC actually medyo malaki na yung tinaas niya from the past price niya. But actually nag-crossover na siya last July 1. So pass tayo kay DMC. So SM naman. So for SM, actually yung MACD niya is nagpa-flat. So I think pass ako kay SM. And then kay Globe. So si Globe naman is nag-crossover na last time. So June 30. So this is a good entry point for Globe. But as of now for this week, pass tayo kay Globe. And then yung CCI din niya is actually nag-crossover na. So dapat bantayan mo lang siya if nasa going above 100 na siya. Okay? And then RRHI. So I think pass din tayo dito since nag-crossover na siya last June 22. So yung MACD line niya is nag-crossover na dun sa signal line last June 22. So pass tayo kay RRHI. So if binabantayan mo siya, pass muna. Since nag-push na yung price niya pataas. Okay. So next stocks is Ali. Okay. Malalobot na. Okay. So for Ali, since yung signal line niya is above the blue line then, so pass tayo kay Ali. Okay. And then for Wilcon naman, okay, nag-crossover na siya last June 28. So this is not a good entry point if ngayon ka bibili. So pass tayo kay Wilcon. And then Forever naman, same din. Since yung signal line is above the blue line, this is pass. So SCC, so kay SCC naman, last June 30 is actually nag-crossover na siya. Okay, so last, wait lang. June 30 may mataas na volume din siya. So last week then with high volume. So maganda if ang entry point mo here is at around 14 pesos. So actually nag-16 pesos na si SCC last Friday. Okay. But for this week, pass tayo since nag-accumulate na yung price niya. So yep. So GFC naman, so consolidation phase, if you can see yung MACD is flat. So not good for swing trader. Okay. So pass tayo. And then KB, PS actually nag-crossover na last July 1, so pass. And then next is home. Home naman is signal line is above the MACD line, so pass, and below the ALMA line, so pass tayo kay home. And then PPI, pass din tayo since medyo late na if mag-entry ka. Because if you can check dun sa history ng chart, since May 21, dun nag-crossover yung MACD. So let's try to check if nag-buy ka on that level, 80 pesos, and then right now, 89 na siya. Okay, so meron ka ng actually 10% something if naka-hold ka pa dyan. Since wala pa namang sell signal, pwede mo pa rin i-hold si BPI. Okay, then DNL. So DNL is actually nag-crossover na ata last Friday or July 2. Yes, Friday. So medyo late na yan. So sukatin lang natin yung risk if pwede ka pang pumasok. 8.61. So if you want, meron ng 4% risk if papasukin mo pa siya. Pero ang mas magandang technique is kapag magko-crossover pa lang siya. Okay. Saan ba tayo? DNL and then SEC Bank. So si SEC Bank actually mukhang, if you will notice, there is a slightly movement dun sa MACD line niya, crossing above na dun sa signal line. So pwede nating bantayan si SEC Bank for this week or tomorrow, end of day. Pwede nating i-check if gano'ng kataas yung risk na iti-take natin. 12.30. Okay. So, check lang natin yung risk. So, 22.30. So, with at least, I think, going to 3% yung risk, so medyo mababa. So, magandang bantayan si SEC Bank for this week since check natin if magiging successful yung MACD crossover niya. Okay. Okay. So, next is Apo. So, Apo actually nag-crossover na siya last July 2. And then, if hahabol ka, medyo mataas na yung risk. If susukatin natin, 1.07. So, with 11%. So, pass tayo kay Apo. Okay. URC. So, URC is nag-crossover na din. So, pass. And then si Bloom is actually below the ALMA line. So pass tayo. PSEi is sobrang baba. So pass. And then si Converge is actually below ALMA line. And then Signal line is over the MACD line. Pass. JGS is actually nagko-consolidate pa din siya as of now, if you will notice. And then nagpa-flat yung MACD niya. So JGS pass. And then for dito, so for dito, since nagpa-flat pa din yung MACD niya, I think pass tayo. And then wala namang masyadong happenings kay dito right now. Hindi pa rin siya nakakawala sa 9 pesos level niya. And then naglalaro lang siya at 8 to 9 pesos. Okay? So pass tayo kay dito. And then kay Tel is actually nag-crossover na siya last July 1. So pass. MBT, so MBT is actually yung signal line niya is is above the MACD line, so pass. And then for tech naman is same below ALMA line. And then signal line is above the MACD line, so tech is also pass. And then Meralco. Okay. So for Meralco, so since MACD line is already crossover last, so nag-crossover na siya last July 2, so pass tayo kay Mer. And then for AP naman, since nag-crossover na siya last May 28, so not a good entry point for AP. Okay, using daily time frame. So pass tayo. And then M wide. Okay. So I can see here na yung MACD line is almost touch na yung dun sa signal line. So maganda yung bantayan to this week or tomorrow, Monday. And then try na din natin naman sukatin yung risk niya. So at 6.96, 6.96. So with just 2.99 or 3% risk, so maliit lang yon. So check na din natin yung traded value. So mataas naman yung value niya with the for the past 5 consecutive days. And then plus yung CCI, if mapapansin nyo, is crossing above 100 na siya. So if you combine all these indicators, so I think magandang bantayan sa M-wide for this week. And then next is Holcim. So Holcim nag-crossover na siya last June 29, so pass. And then si EMP din, so malaki na yung tinaas niya since last May. And then right now going down na yung price niya, if you can see. So for Emperador, pass na muna tayo dyan. And then for SEB, so si SEB din since last June 3, so nagkaroon tayo ng price movement paakyat. And then right now, mukhang babagsak na siya since yung MACD line is crossing below na ng signal line. And then yung CCI is going back to zero na. So I think nag-TP na yung mga traders or investor kay SEB. Okay, so pass tayo kay PES and then kay SEB, and then kay PES naman, this is actually pass then since below alma line, and then yung blue line or MACD line is crossing below the signal line. So pass din tayo dyan. And then CNPF naman, so actually last time binabantayan ko si CNPF, but last July chine-check ko siya, but hanggang matapos yung week napansin ko nagpa-flat siya. So I think pass muna tayo kay CNPF since nagpa-flat tong MACD niya. Okay, so pass. And then kay for Agi is actually nag-crossover na siya last July 1, so pass. And then nickel din, so last June 14 nag-crossover na yung MACD niya, so pass. Okay, since chine-check lang natin dito is crossing over yung MACD or MACD crossover yung chine-check natin. Okay, and then for green naman, for green pass din since last June 8 nag-crossover na siya. Okay, and then for FB same, nag-crossover na din siya last June 24. Okay, and then CPG same, nag-crossover na siya last June 4. So pass tayo dyan. Okay, so si REIT, check natin yung traded value. So mataas naman for the past 5 days. So nakikita ko na yung MACD line is malapit nang mag-touch sa signal line. So I think magkakaroon ng crossover, but syempre bantayan lang natin yung movement niya for this coming week. And then yung CCI din is I think parang crossing over 100 na siya. And then meron na tayong nag-above na yung candlestick din sa alma line. So try lang natin sukatin yung risk if ever napapasukin natin siya this week. So 36.80. So sobrang liit lang ng risk niya. So at I think 1% lang. So medyo magandang pasukan si REIT for this week. And then PRF3A. So I'm not familiar with this stock, but if you can see the chart, ang pangit ang chart niya. So yung MACD line is nagpa-flat din, so pass na agad tayo dyan. GMA7, so actually sa GMA7 is maganda if na spot mo yan last time. So last June 3 to June 8, okay, nung nag-crossover dyan, so if nag-buy ka dyan at 9 pesos, check lang natin if nakapasok ka at 9 pesos. And then you're still holding GMA. So 14.48. So meron ka ng 57% unrealized gain if hindi mo pa siya binibenta. Okay? But you can see parang magko-cross over below na si MACD line sa signal line. So malapit na mag-TP dito or pwede na mag-TP for GMA7. And then NPI. So actually medyo malayo pa si MPI pero I think pwede mo na din siyang bantayan since meron na tayong fractal here na red which is a reversal indicator na either aangat na si MPI. So pwede mong gawin is bantayan mo si MPI if malapit ng crossover yung MACD lang sa signal line na mag-entry ka. Okay, and then bantayan mo din si CCI ma-reach yung level 100. So, pwede natin bantayan si MPI for the rest of this week. Okay. GT cap naman is actually below Alma line, but yung MACD niya is medyo malayo and then ito flat. So, pass tayo. DDMPR naman is actually flat din. So, yep. So, pass tayo dyan. And then LC naman, actually, medyo nasa consolidation phase siya last time. So medyo mukhang nagising siya, si LC. So this is Lepanto Consolidated Mining. So last June 28, so if mapapansin nyo, nag-crossover above na yung MACD line sa signal line, plus nag-above na din yung candlestick nun. So as of now, umangat na siya. Okay, so pass tayo since late entry na yan. Okay, and then kay PX naman, so I think si PX, pwede natin siyang i-add for this week. So if you will notice, itong MACD line is crossing over. So bantayan natin tomorrow, Monday. So end of day, if magta-touch na yan or medyo malapit, you can buy na. End of day, okay? So check natin yung risk as of today. So 6.80. So meron tayong, I think 3% something, okay? Sa risk. And then if papansin niyo yung CCI, medyo going above 100 na din siya. But check natin yung traded value. So mataas din yung traded value niya. So okay naman ding i-trade or bantayan si PX for this week. And then si PNB, okay, PNB is actually in consolidation phase. So flat yung MACD niya. So pass na tayo dyan. Okay. After PNB, okay, so all HC naman is actually like crossover na last May 26, so medyo malayo or malaki na yung tinaas ng price niya. But for entry, hindi to maganda na pasukan for this week. And then for ANI naman, in consolidation phase, so below the ALMA line, CCI is below 0, so pass tayo. And then APL is pass din, below ALMA line, though if you will notice, oops, mag-zoom. Paano mag-zoom out? Go back. Okay, so nag-step tayo kay APL. So, puntahan ulit natin siya. APL, nasa na ba yun? So for APL, so balik lang natin yung indicators po. So sobrang nagko-consolidate lang din siya. If you will notice, diba, since May, so nagko-consolidate lang siya. And then our red line is above the blue line. So pass tayo kay APL. Next is RLC. So actually si RLC, meron ako napansin. Paano mag-zoom out? Wait lang ha. No problem. Okay. So RLC. RLC. Okay. So si RLC is actually pwede natin siyang bantayan since if mapapansin nyo, yung candlestick niya is above the ALMA line plus yung fractals may indicating na rin na there is a reversal plus mas magandang pasukan if yung MACD line is magko-crossover na dito sa red line. So if mapapansin nyo yung position niya right now, parang tatangkain naman niya mag-crossover. So, pabantayan mo lang siya for this week. So, pwede mo i-add si RLC for this week sa mga stocks na pwede mo i-trade. plus yung CCI is going above 100 or crossing above 0. So magsasabay yan. If magka-cross over yung blue line dun sa red line, si CCI is aangat din yan. Okay, and then yung risk, pwede mo naman din sukatin. Okay, so AAV naman is actually pass din. Pass naman to since yung red line is above the blue line. And then MM is actually naka-above din yung signal line niya sa MACD line, and then in consolidation phase, so flat yung MACD niya, the CCI is below, so pass tayo kay MM. And then MWC, so maganda if na-spot mo siya last June 2, but for this week, hindi maganda yung entry point since ang basis natin is MACD crossover. If nag-buy ka dyan last June 2, okay, try lang natin i-check if how many percent na yung gain mo, if nag-hold ka pa. 18.68. So with 30% gain ka na dito if you buy last June 2. But for this week, not a good entry point for this. So pass tayo kay MWC. And then for FNI, since below na yung candlestick sa alma line niya, so pass. And then yung blue line is crossing below the red line. Plus the CCI is below 0, so pass tayo. And then for DD, I think DD is in consolidation phase right now. Okay. So for the past few days since June 10, so hindi pa siya kumakawala at 12.50. So and then if gagamitin mo yung MACD as your basis, pass tayo dyan since nag-crossover na din siya last May 26 pa. And then for LTG, below the alma line then, and then signal line is above the blue line, plus CCI is below 0 and negative level. So pass tayo kay LTG. CLI, same case then. Okay, so pass. And then for Del Monte, same then. So pass tayo. And then for PHR naman, same scenario then, below the alma line. Signal line is below the blue line or above the blue line, so pass. And then for PA, I think medyo matagal na siya nagko-consolidate since May. Okay, and then flat yung MACD natin, so plus yung volume, medyo mababa, so pass tayo kay PA. And then for SMC, SMC is below the alma line. Plus CCI is nasa 0 level pa lang, and then I think yung blue line, even though naka-crossover siya, nagpa-flat pa din siya. So pass tayo kay SMC, and then for MAC is below the alma line, signal line is above the MACD line, so pass. And then FGen, same scenario, so pass. So quick check na lang tayo. So TBGI is actually na crossover na last May 24, so pass. And then EEI, okay, ito. For EEI, if mapapansin nyo, last Friday, nag-close siya at 7.80. And then I think there is a possibility na pwede nyo siyang bantayan since yung MACD line niya is crossing over or malapit na mag-touch, crossing over the red line or the signal line. And then CCI is crossing above 100. So pwede naman natin siyang bantayan, si EEI, and then check kung ano yung magiging movement niya for this week. And then si Eagle is actually, blue line is crossing below or nag-touch sa red line. So naka-flat din siya. So in consolidation phase, so pass tayo. And then ABS naman is actually nag-crossover na last June 28, so pass. PXP is signal line is above the blue line. Okay, but pwede natin siyang bantayan since nagpa-flat siya but medyo malapit siya dun sa red line or signal line. So you can add PXP, but let's try to check yung value if liquid or illiquid pa siya. For the past 5 days, 7 million, 6 million, 2.4, 1.4. Okay. So pwede rin naman si PXP, okay? And then si ABA is actually below alma line, so pass na. PSC, nagko-consolidate since flat ang MACD. Pass SFI, MACD line is crossing below the signal line. Pass OPM is nag-crossover na last June 30. So pass. RCB din, so nag-crossover na siya last time. So pass na din tayo dyan. So si Shell naman is below the alma line. So pass na din. Plus yung signal line is above the blue line. So pass. Costco is actually same, naka-above yung signal line sa MACD line. So pass. And then sa MRC, crossover na siya last May 27. So not a good entry point for this week. So pass tayo kay MRC FLI. Nagpa-flat yung MACD. So pass DF. And nag-crossover na last June 25, pass din. So kay ASICS naman is below alma line. So pass. SSI, pass din. Same scenario. Is West Bank is nag-crossover na last June 29. So pass. PLL is flat yung MACD niya. So pass. RLT, nag-crossover na last June 22. So pass na din since mataas na yung price niya if you will buy on this level or for this week. Davin naman, so flat din yung MACD niya. So in consolidation phase to. So pass tayo kay Davin. So Vita, so si Vita is below alma line plus yung signal line is above the blue line or the MACD line. So pass, agad tayo kay Vita. And then for SEi naman is flat din yung line niya. So if ganito, pass na agad ako. So pass for SEi. And then CHP below the alma line. So pass again. So EMI, same scenario din, above yung signal line sa MACD line. So pass. SEB-CP is yung MACD line is crossing below the red line or the signal line. So pass. China Bank. Okay, so China Bank naman, I think last June 15, nag-crossover na to. So not a good entry point for this week. So pass. So AB, so in a downtrend position, as you can see, so pass tayo dyan. 80 is below the alma line, pass. EPB2R, signal line is above the MACD line, so this is pass. And then PRIM, same scenario. And then AR, so actually na-crossover na siya last May 31, so pass tayo dyan. And then KPRMX below the alma line din. And then yung CCI is in negative, so pass. So mostly pass na tayo. I hope na chat or na-note nyo yung mga stocks na pwede nating i-filter or screen this coming week. Okay. Fruit is below the alma line, so pass. And then CC, same din, pass. RFM, pass. PCOR, pass na din ito. CTC, so nag-crossover na siya last time, so pass. APX, okay, so above yung signal line niya sa MACD line, medyo malayo pa, so pass. NI, so pass since below the alma line. And then Bell is below the alma line then, negative CCI. Okay. And then Crown is below the alma line, so pass. Same scenario with Land. LRW is nagko-consolidate right now since flat yung MACD niya. And then PHN. So PHN is nag-crossover na last June 4 and June 23. So pass tayo kay PHN. And then for NERC, nag-crossover na siya last June 28. So pass. GSMI, so actually nagtitipi na sila since last June 11. Naging uptrend siya from that level. So, try lang natin if nag-buy ka on this level. At 99.4, 99.4. So, at around 30 percentage yung ganyan. But, I think nagtipi na nga sila since sinasabi ng indicator since yung blue line is crossing below na. So, tipi na yung pwedeng gawin doon. And for PLC, below the ALMA line, plus signal line is above the MACD line, so pass. So for GMAP, same, na-crossover na last June 4, so pass tayo dyan. SPC is crossover na last May 28 and then no June 22, so pass tayo. So kay BRN, pass din since below ALMA line. And then KMOB, so signal line is above the blue line, pass. Geo, so na-crossover last time. So ang pina-focus natin is yung crossing above pa lang. Okay, so pass tayo dyan. And then for PSE, signal line is above the blue line, so pass. F and ETF, same scenario, so pass. So ion, so for ion, below the ALMA line, so still pass. MRSGI, so eto, nag-crossover na siya last May 27, so pass na tayo dyan, and then below the ALMA line. So by using date time frame, okay, pass. And then ORE, nag-consolidate since flat siya, flat yung map niya. Okay, so pass tayo dyan. And then SLI, so medyo malapit na tayo matapos for the stock screening. So below the ALMA line then, si SLI, so pass. And then MA is actually below the ALMA line, plus signal line is above the blue line. So pass din tayo kay MAH. So same case din naman kay, kay MWP is na-crossover na siya last June 4, so pass. So up din naman is below the ALMA line then, so pass. ZHI is may crossover na siya last July 1, so pass. So I think yun na yung pinaka-last stocks na pwede natin i-filter since ito lang yung above of 1 million. So I think that's all lang for our stock screening for this Sunday. So see you on our next stock filtering on next Sunday. And thank you.